Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This time around, I want to talk to you about the importance of 2018 and why it matters more than any other years that may have come before it. And I want to talk about that because we just experienced the biggest reform we've had in our tax code since Reagan's years in the 80s. And that has major implications for everyone, depending on where you live in the country and depending on how much money you make. I want to talk about three things, three areas where the tax code affects you, why it matters, and how and why you need to take action now in different areas. And the first area I want to talk to you about as far as how the new tax code affects you is in the area of health insurance. Now, with health insurance, the Republicans have done away with the individual mandate of the Affordable Care Act. What that did was it required every American to carry insurance or face a penalty. Now, when you don't have that penalty, people with better health are going to say, well, you know what, I can probably skate, as we say in the insurance industry, and not have insurance because chances are I won't have to go to the hospital or see a doctor. So they come off the insurance rolls. Now, when that happens, there's a larger percentage of unhealthier people to insure. So it's a smaller pool, larger percentage of unhealthier people. That means it's more expensive for insurance companies to insure those unhealthier people. What do? Take a loss? No, don't do that. They're in business to make a profit. So they're going to raise their rates. So that means for you and for me, in order to maintain our insurance, there's going to, on average, be higher premiums to pay. And that works whether or not you work for a corporation and get it through the job or you get it directly yourself. Second area I want to talk about is tax deductions. Everybody knows that tax deductions have been capped at $10,000. Now that's $10,000. Think about this now. For your property tax and your state and local income taxes or sales taxes, but we'll just focus on the income taxes. That's what affects most of us. Now, what that means is for somebody who lives in a higher tax state like I do, and in a higher tax county like I do, like for instance, Nassau County's average property tax in 2016 was north of $11,000. Westchester County's even worse. Their average property tax is $15,000. So now you're already above the $10,000 mark there. Now you add into that the deductions that would normally have been taken for state and local income tax, and you've already blown past that $10,000 cap. So people who normally might have been counting on tens of thousands of dollars in deductions to make their home affordable, that's suddenly gone. It's evaporated. You don't have it anymore. That hits the average family's bottom line in the Northeast and in the West to a large degree. Now, the last part I want to talk about is the housing market. When housing becomes less affordable because you can't take as many deductions as you formerly could, now that makes housing that much more out of reach for you. Now, according to Moody's, and I want to read this, Moody's Analytics predicts that nationally housing prices will be 4% lower than they would have otherwise been by mid-2019. That's not cataclysmic, but it affects, it's real money. It hits the bottom line. That's coming out of a potential or present homeowner's home values over the coming years. That's a real effect. So now you've got the healthcare expenses, you've got tax deductions, and you've got the housing market being impacted. Those are just three things. I say all that to say that this is what it means to you. You can sit on the sidelines and you can complain and you can hate Trump and you can rail against the Republicans. You can blame the Democrats. You can say, I wasn't taught. I don't have the education. I hate rich people. They take advantage of poor people. You can do all of that. And where is that going to get you at the end of the day? Nowhere. Because at the end of the day, who owns your life? You. It's not your mama. It's not your boss. It's not Donald Trump. And it's not the government. Listen, we can no longer, if you haven't caught this by now, understand it. You cannot depend on the government to take care of you and look out for your best interests. That's on you. You have to look out for you. You have to look out for your family. And that means that you have to take action. If you've been lax in that in previous years, this is your wake-up call. Now, what do you do to take action? Do you picket? Do you protest? Do you write your congressman? Good luck with that. You can wait for them to do something and ease your situation. Probably not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. Or you can choose to take action yourself. And there are two ways where you can take action. And the first one is in your financial life. You need to take action to educate yourself, to become financially literate, to get a budget, work it, get your finances under control, get yourself a CPA, and get educated. Look at this situation as making lemons from lemonade. In the short term, many of you might get more dollars in your pocket, and the government's learned that throw a few dollars at the masses and they'll settle down, they'll shut up. But you need to do more than that. Need to be more than just happy with those few extra dollars you may keep in your paycheck from week to week. You need to own your financial future. Get educated about investments, about retirement, learn about taxes, get a CPA who's knowledgeable, get a lawyer who's knowledgeable, get a brain trust around you that can educate you about how you can, rather than sit on the sidelines and hate the wealthy and the financially capable, whatever you want to call them, rich, wealthy, financially literate, upper middle class, join them. If you can't beat them, join them, and you're not going to beat them. So you might as well become part of them and learn how to make those laws work for you. That comes with educating. It comes with owning your situation, taking responsibility, and making changes in your life. You need to now become the person you have never been so that you can have the things that you have never had. And that brings me to my next point, which is number 2, and that is you have to live your life with focus and intentionality. You can no longer afford to just drift along. You need to get out your oar, stick it in the water, and paddle for all you're worth. You can sit on the sidelines and go with the flow and let the falls just take you over the edge and kill you, or you can take command. You can get your focus together, understand what it is you really need to do to change your life and make it better. You need to understand what obstacles stand in your way. You need to understand your why you need to do this. Then you need to write out a plan and own it. All of these things you need to do because 2018 is here. The tax laws are here. They're not going away. Question is, what are you going to do to affect and own your future and your individual situation? Now, I put these blog videos out there and I put my articles up on the blog because I want to help as many people as I can to own their own life, to understand what it is they want, what is their focus, and what is their why. Org for Life Solutions is dedicated to those things. Now, with that, you can join my mailing list. I encourage you to do so because you won't miss out on a lot of good information that I'm going to be throwing up. But if you don't choose to go with my blog, if you don't choose that, well, this is the answer for you, go somewhere, do something, educate yourself. There's all kinds of free sites out there where you can learn about finances, where you can learn about empowering yourself and charting a course and owning your life. Get on it, do it, Don't wait. You can no longer afford to. Because if you think that by lobbying your congressman and by getting upset is going to change your situation in life, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Because I tell you, you may think things may get temporarily better now, but there's going to be a bill to pay for all of this in the future. You're going to have to pay it. Our children are going to have to pay it. This country is going to have to pay it. And who do you think is going to suffer most when that happens? That's going to be the people who did not take control of their lives when it really mattered. So I encourage you, do it. Make that plan. Get that focus. Discover your why. Write it out. Own it, be it, achieve it. Onward and upward, people. All success to you, and I wish you all the very best. Take care.